Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Star Wars Expanded Universe. Now we done by Disney, or Lucasfilm, whichever way you slice it. Legends. So, today we're reviewing the novel Deceived. This takes place during the Old Republic, of course. This is before the MMO, though. This takes place during and then most of it after the events of the Deceived trailer, which is phenomenal. If you have not seen Old Republic Deceived, you can watch it on YouTube for free. Just Google it. Glorious. Glorious. 5 minutes. 5 minutes of awesome. Look, I love me a good story. Okay? I do. However, it does not take too much to please me. Just consistency, good story. Usually, 5-minute trailer, you don't need a good story. You just need to get somebody hyped for a game. That's the point of a trailer. And have it be story relevant. And that's what all the Old Republic trailers do. And that is certainly what this trailer does. And it just gets you hyped to read the book. So I highly suggest you watch that trailer. The book Deceived focuses on 3 separate characters. The characters are Darth Malgus, the proto-Darth Vader, which is, I think, okay. Having a Darth Vader-ish character. He's not Darth Vader. He's his own person. You know, there's similarities you can make between the two, but they are distinct. But also, this is earlier on in the timeline, so it's safe to say that, you know, there'd be other people similar in physique, I guess, to Vader. But I like it. I'm with it. I mean, his character's clearly made to have a Vader-like character in the Old Republic. That being said, what they do with him in this novel and what hopefully they do with him in the MMO, I'm so far with it. So, but we focus on him. We focus on a smuggler by the name of Zareed. And then, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce this last Jedi girl's name. For the longest time I was saying Arn, but I'm of a feeling that was wrong. I shared a couple, I've been sharing stuff with my friend, just little excerpts from it. And he thought it was Aaron, spelled differently, so that might actually be it. He might be Aaron, just spelled weird, which, if that is, there you go. But, we focus on Malgus and what's going on with him, and, you know, from his side of the story, we also get to see kind of what's developing with the Empire. This is shortly before a treaty is formed. I believe that will be in a comic we'll get to. And we get to see, you know, a little bit of the political infighting with the Empire, which is also interesting because, you know, later on we'll get to Darth Plagueis. I mean, I've already reviewed that, so you can see that, but I'm just saying chronologically, later on after this, you'd have Darth Plagueis, you know, down the road, and there's a lot of political stuff in there. But that's not really Malgus's strong suit. But he's very strong in other areas. Zareed, I didn't know how I'd feel about his character, but certainly by the end of it, I absolutely loved him. I loved his story. I loved, you know, the characters we meet in his story, and I just really enjoyed it. It was also interesting what they did with Aaron, which is I'm going to call her by until I'm corrected in the comments, because, you know, what she plans to do and then what she ends up doing. I mean, it's all typical Star Wars stuff, I think, you know. But at the same time, I didn't necessarily know what to expect by the end of it. So that was cool. Malgus is super cool. And the story overall, you know, it starts off as 3 separate stories. It all converges into one, they all kind of link up at the end. And overall, it was a really good read, and I really enjoyed it. I don't know what else I can really say without spoiling it. We do get to learn more about Malgus. We get to learn about a relationship he has with the Twi'lek. We learn some stuff about Zareed. See, I can't tell you about it because these spoilers. You just read it. But overall, I thought the plot of the book was really good. I thought the plot was good. I thought the characters were good. I thought the writing was good. There are some action scenes in here, and if you're into that, you're into that. I love action too. Usually not in books as much because I'm not as imaginative as a lot of other people. So it was fine from what I was able to visualize, but I'm sure people who are like really visual will see much cooler things. That's why I like the live stuff, like the trailers and stuff, because I get to actually just see Malgus on screen doing a whole bunch of damage. So overall, if you want to get into the Old Republic books, right? If you came here, you haven't been following me chronologically because I've been reading all the stuff, every comic, every short story, every novel, every game. I've been reviewing it in chronological order. But if you just happen to show up for this and you were like, I want to get in, I want to play the Old Republic MMO, but I want some background, or I played the Old Republic MMO and I want more, this book is definitely worth your time. If you like Malgus in the game, I haven't played the game yet, so I don't have a perspective, but if you like him there, this will probably make you like him even more. It kind of fleshes out his character a bit. And I'm excited to see where he goes from here. We have for those of you who were with me during the Revan stuff, we have, mentions of the Emperor, of course, Vitiate. He's not very prevalent here, but we do hear that he's the one that goes for a peace treaty. That makes you think, why? Is that because of Revan? Stuff like that. So there definitely is, little things spread in there, which will probably be more addressed in the MMO. But overall, fantastic read. I highly recommend it. I think it's worth your time. Anyway, guys, if you don't want spoilers, then you should probably leave, because I'm going to get into spoilers. So, time for you to leave. I don't actually have too many notes. The very beginning, we get introduced to Zareed, who works for the Exchange, and I was surprised. The Exchange, I believe they might have been in KOTOR 1. I don't exactly remember. I know for a fact they were in KOTOR 2. They were actually a big part of KOTOR 2, so the fact that they're still around 300 years later is interesting. We then get to see Malgus and Elena, who is his lover, and we saw her in the trailer as well, and it's really interesting just seeing, you can make the parallels to Anakin, but it's not the same. But it's their relationship is I don't know if I can say it's good, because he's not. It's kind of abusive, and yet she does seem to have a genuine love for him. Maybe that's Stockholm syndrome. I don't know. It seems like he saved her from a bad owner, but he's not exactly the best either. But what they do with this relationship and for Malgus's development is really good. Yeah, I was surprised. I didn't expect to really enjoy Zareed's character. I thought like he'd be cool, and then I'd really like Malgus's and maybe Aaron's story. But instead, I really enjoyed all three of them. So props to the writer. By the way, I forgot to mention this book is written by Paul S. Kemp, which, my bad. That's if those of you who've been following my reviews, when I reviewed the Jaden Core books, the Cross Current and Riptide, he also wrote those books. We find out the big thing that I kind of couldn't talk about. It's a big important plot point as to why he's doing what he's doing in this book, but I just didn't want to say it in the non-spoiler because I wanted you to read it. But he has a daughter. She's in a wheelchair. He's so poor he doesn't have enough money for even a hover chair, because you'd be like, well, that's kind of weird. It's Star Wars. We have robot limbs, but of course you gotta have the money for that. So it was interesting. I enjoy the relationship he has with his daughter. And I enjoyed that being a driving motivation for him. Skipping a whole bunch of stuff that goes on. Zareed and Aaron actually meet back up. You find out that they knew each other during the beginning of the war. They served with one another, and so they're familiar. And so she helps him get to Coruscant because she wants to go to Coruscant because her motivation in the book is she feels her master's death, the guy from the trailer. She wants revenge. She wants to avenge her master, and so she's going to kill the one who killed her master. So she goes with Zareed, who has to go to Coruscant to give some spice for the exchange, all because of his daughter, and then that all fits together really well. And basically they get shot down though, and they have to basically fall really far till they hit the ground, and Aaron has to use the force to like slow their fall so they don't die when they hit solid ground. And that seems pretty intense. I enjoyed that. Then we get near the end of the book, and Malgus I should say, Malgus fights with Aaron earlier on, but then Zareed shows up. They get away, and she says with such hate and anger, like, I could kill you, but I want you to hurt like I did first. And she's kind of going on this mission to go find his lover and kill his lover. But she doesn't go through with it. And so they fight the second time. And because she allowed her to live, Malgus lets her go. And then, kind of probably around the same time, Zareed kills Wrath. I didn't even really mention Wrath. Wrath was this bounty hunter. He was like a sniper during the wars. He's basically been tracking them down. He's fine. There's nothing super deep about him. I did like that he kind of had the rule against, not killing the kid, not ratting out the kid, which we heard inside his head he wouldn't have done that. So what happens near the end of this book is even more disturbing. But then after this, Malgus has been wrestling with a lot of stuff in this book, seeing the error of the Sith. This gave me a lot of Darth Bane vibes, because Darth Bane too will not be happy with the Sith and will correct it. This is slightly different, but I still got a similar feeling from that. And he realizes that as much as he loves Elena, that she is a weakness. And so he purges his weakness by ending her life. It was really good. I was tense. It was kind of saw it coming near the end, I feel, with the way he was talking in his head, but it was still really good. We skip ahead maybe a couple months. I'm not exactly sure, it doesn't specify. But Malgus kills Aegis, who was his head Sith. That was kind of a satisfying scene. And then a happy ending, hopefully. Zareed gets a farm on Dantooine, gives his daughter prosthetic legs, and because Malgus let her live, she denounced herself from being a Jedi. She's just a normal person now, and she goes to live seemingly with Zareed on Dantooine, and it's a sweet ending. Of course, there's still an MMO where stuff happens, and you probably explore Dantooine at some point. So as to whether or not they're still okay, who knows? But seemingly a happy ending. I didn't talk too much about stuff going on, but this book really was fantastic. And to any of you who have read it, let me know what you thought in the comment section below. And did you read those before playing the MMO? Did you even play the MMO? I know Matt Wilkins doesn't play video games, so he never played the MMO. So I'm curious to know like different perspectives on that. Like somebody who hasn't read that and only reads the books, someone who plays the game and then reads the books, or someone who played or does both. I'm just curious to know what people thought about this book. But I thought it was really well written, really well done, and I enjoyed it. But anyway, that's about it, guys, for today. Up next for you, I've got I think a couple comics, short story, and then Red Harvest, which I have heard not too great things about. But we can find out together what I think about Red Harvest when I finish it. So until then, guys. And then after that, I believe we take a break from books and head into the MMO. So I hope you all will join me for all of that. And until next time, may the Force be with you. Bye-bye.